Namaskar, welcome to this special interaction of IndiGlobal Media Network, IndiGlobal TV. Today we are joined by a special guest who is the Vice Chancellor for Jawaharlal Nehru University, popularly known as JNU, New Delhi, Professor Santishree Dhulipudi Pandit. Please join me. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us. Ma'am, these kind of conferences, which is basically Association of Indian Universities, and the theme of this meet is also Education at 2047. Bharat as a Vishwaguru, Bharat as the Viksit Bharat. What is the relevance of the universities towards that direction?
See, you would have seen the latest QS rankings, which got released last week. JNU beat the IITs and IIMs. Hollow, though we get the least money, we perform the best. So it's still, 80% of the students do not go to sciences and medicine or to management. Another is such universities are important because we are the only ones who practice Prime Minister Modi's Sabka Sath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, Sabka Vishwas. You'll ask me why. Do you know what is the fee structure of JNU? 10 rupees and 20 rupees. Even today. So the poorest of poor can come to JNU if they are able to do very well in the exams. And the other is basically we get 3 and 4 pointers. Not like IITs and IIMs. They get 9.5 pointers and make them into 9.8 pointers. We get 3 and 4 pointers and make them into 8, 9 and 10 pointers. So who brings about social transformation? Universities bring. So when 80% of the students are at universities, I think the government of India should invest more money in the public education system, especially in the humanities, social sciences, languages, basic sciences and others. With maybe engineering and others, fine. But these disciplines also have to be nurtured, otherwise you cannot have holistic education.
Great, ma'am. Ma'am, at the same time, one question, the recent development that made the news is even the recent graduates out of IITs couldn't be, their placement was a problem. Only 36 or somewhere around. What do you have to say about it?
See, one thing is, the question is, I think expectations are very high. And number two, the job market, can be very dicey and there are changing, necessities needed. And the question is whether we are also having courses that are relevant and can our students be flexible to the new job opportunities. Many times, what you learn or I learn at universities does not finally fetch you the job. It is the way you use your knowledge in a job situation. That is what is happening. So I wouldn't blame the education system. I would blame the way we orient our students. We have to tell them that the difference comes only if you are able to use your education to your job perspective or the demands of the company, the country and others.
Great, ma'am. Ma'am, at the same time, now the standards of Indian education ecosystem or Indian institutions compared to the global standards, where do we stand?
I think we stand very well. The very fact that JNU got the 20th rank internationally, not even on Asian level, that shows that we are good. That means if we perform well and if the central government has been much more efficient in allowing us to fill up appointments, teachers have to be appointed. You can't have robots to teach. See, you would have seen during COVID, though you had online education, it was as good as no education. So I think online should be there, hybrid, but the importance of the teacher becomes very, very important. So I think Indian universities can excel. I'm from Presidency College, Madras, Chennai.
Okay.
And we are among the top 3. We produce 2 Nobel Prize winners in physics. And JNU is the only Indian university also to produce 2 Nobel Prize winners in economics. Amartya Sen and Abhijit Banerjee was our student for 10 years.
Oh, great.
So without drinking Ganga Daba Cha, he was not ready to go and meet the Prime Minister.
Great, ma'am. Ma'am, at the same time, the kind of policies that are coming in, and at the same time, we look up to the technology, as you mentioned about robots, artificial intelligence and many other technologies are said to be fast evolving, and students or the young professionals are asked to adapt themselves to this technology and use them as tools. Some are there telling at the same time this artificial intelligence is taking over certain sections of jobs. What do you have to say about this?
I don't think, see, basically in a country like India, humans have to be superior to artificial intelligence because it is we who create it. When you call it artificial, it is artificial. I won't see any threats because, see, it's so monotonous. Have you seen the way Chat GPT gives essays? Same thing. If you're an intelligent student, you won't copy.
Yeah.
You can take ideas from it, but then you can add from your own. So I still believe it is only the human mind. See, now today you had both the terrorist attacks in Israel and in Russia, which are thought to have the best intelligence systems in the world.
Iron Dome.
Why? Because they over-relied on technology. Technology is stupid. You need human beings to tell you whether it's a real missile or not. So I still believe humans cannot be replaced, and it is wrong to think. I think humans should now start learning. You have machine learning. Machines are learning and humans are surfing, which is not good. It should be the reverse.
Ma'am, what would be your message for the youngsters who look up to the career and profession, and what would your message for them?
My thing for the students is, first, don't run after any fashionable. Just because everybody is becoming an IT engineer, you also. Do you really have an interest in it? Number two, you will have to pursue it with passion. Three, I think whatever you do, even if you're a ditch digger, you can be the best ditch digger in the world. And my only thing is, pursue your passion, pursue what is important for the country, and pursue what you think you're good at. It is like asking a fish to drive a cycle. Can it drive? Fish can only swim. So that's why I said everybody has different talents. So those talents have to be used very well, and I think it is the necessity of the teacher, the education system, the universities to be able to guide these students through counseling. So I think please don't run with the crowds.
Yeah.
Because many times you feel very miserable because you got into a field you don't like, just for the money or the job. Yeah. Because a job should be something that you love. If you love the job you do, let me tell you, I was a medical student because I also ran after 12th. I've topped the state board. So everybody said you must become only either a doctor or an engineer. So I went to medicine. Then finally I realized I didn't like medicine.
Okay.
I left it and came for history and political science. Yeah. Though at that time many people thought I was being stupid. But now I don't regret it because I did what I liked.
Great, ma'am. JNU was generally known for many things earlier before you took over. And how could you manage? There were like many times the VCs were heckled by the group of students, but you very strongly held and everything is going smoothly. How could you manage it?
See, one thing is I'm also a student of JNU. Number two, I think women are more compromising, and I know the place, and I think empathy. And I talk to the students. I go meet them in their hostels. I go and have their food. I make surprise visits. And I keep an open door policy for all faculty and students. And my policy is the day my students I don't even have one security man walking around with me when I go around the campus. Because I said the day I'm scared of my students or faculty, I will resign. Because I'm not fit to be a vice chancellor. And let me also say that JNU is a wonderful place. People who think, people who are very intelligent, ask too many questions. They are the argumentative Indians, but they are wonderful students. Our staff is also our faculty is also very good. And that is why we are getting these rankings. Though, we are not monetarily very rich. But this shows that for the best, you don't need money. Money is important, but you ought to have the best of ideas. Think, put squares in circles. So you have to think out of the box. And I think that is what students do. And 3 ministers in the present cabinet are from JNU. Dr. S. Jaishankar, Nirmala Sitharaman, and Amitabh Kant. All JNU products. And half of the bureaucracy is from JNU.
Great, ma'am. Ma'am, one thing we look at you physically. Your attire is a very much Indian Bharatiya sari attire you wear, and at the same time, your English is eloquent, and the kind of counter you give at any stage is like awesome. We get impressed. Give the secret of this combination.
See, basically, I believe, I love my culture. I'm very proud to say I'm an Indian. I'm very proud even to say I belong to the greatest civilization, the Hindu civilization. సో అండ్ నేను తెలుగు బిడ్డ కూడా సో నేను ఢిల్లీలో కూడా తెలుగులో కూడా మాట్లాడతాను. ఐ స్టార్ట్ మై లెక్చర్స్ విత్ అందరు మహానుభావులకి నా శతకోటి వందనాలు నమస్కారాలు. ఐఎమ్ వెరీ ప్రౌడ్ ఆఫ్ మై అండ్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం నేను చదువుకుంది ఒక కాన్వెంట్ స్కూల్లో. ఇంగ్లీష్ నేర్చుకోవాలంటే ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. లాంగ్వేజ్ అండ్ అటైర్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ నథింగ్ టు డూ విత్ the way your brain works. I think the best of the brains can also be in whatever attire. Manalaga cheera inkekada ledu. I don't think this type of art, that weaving and all that, south of the Vindhyas, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, ikkade unnai. Mainly silk sarees. I like silks. So I wear it because I want to exhibit Indian culture as well. Because that is most important also, and I'm proud of it. I'm not in any way I don't feel ashamed of it.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you.